This is Chris Danielson. Like, subscribe to CW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, World of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Danielson, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. I'll be down there in the description box. And I'm here to do my AEW Dynamite March 29th, 2023 reviews. So here we go, discussing about tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite. Now we kick off the show with the first match of the night. It was Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Matt Hardy with Ethan Page at ringside. So yeah, it was Matt Hardy versus Jungle Boy in a one-on-one match. It was a pretty good match. It was going back and forth and everything. During this match, we see Darby Allin backstage watching this match from the TV monitor, and same for Sammy Guevara and Ty Mello watching this match as well from the TV monitor. And it was a pretty good match between Matt Hardy and Jungle Boy going back and forth. Hook came out at one point, and he comes out, and him and Ethan Page just going at it and stuff, brawling with each other. Matt Hardy comes up, pulling Hook off of Ethan Page, and then Ethan Page was trying to punch Hook, but Hook ducks, and Matt Hardy accidentally got punched in the face by Ethan Page. And then Hook and Ethan Page just goes up the ramp, brawling and stuff, going backstage. And then Matt Hardy gets back in the ring. He's finally handling Jungle Boy. He was trying to hit the twist of fate at one point, but Jungle Boy reverses it into a backslide, almost getting a 3 count, but Matt Hardy kicks out at 2. But then Jungle Boy starts taking control. He hits a thrust kick onto Matt Hardy, and then he hits a flatliner onto Matt Hardy, and then he runs to the rope and comes back with a big forearm to the back of the head onto Matt Hardy, pinning him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Jungle Boy defeated Matt Hardy tonight on AEW Dynamite. That's what happened. For that match, I'll give it 2.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a pretty good match between those two guys, but yeah, that's why I'll give that match. But then, after that match ended, we see Jungle Boy celebrating and stuff, and then it gets interrupted by the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, MJF. MJF comes out, and he starts talking to Jungle Boy, talking about what he did a few weeks ago. And he pulled a Kanye move. So yeah, that's what he was saying. That's just a reference from Kanye West interrupting Taylor Swift years ago. But yeah, that's what MJF was saying. And MJF was talking about how, they've been in the ring before, back at Double or Nothing 2020, and MJF won that match, and how he thought that him and Jungle Boy was going to become rivals and all that stuff, how he respected Jungle Boy, and how he went backstage after the match and shook Jungle Boy's hand and gave him some advice and everything. But then he noticed that Jungle Boy didn't take that advice or anything like that, and while he went ahead and become World Heavyweight Champion and wrestling very few matches, coming out talking a lot of junk to fans and all that stuff, making a lot of money, Jungle Boy got to work on Dark and everything, and then come out and, become best friends with Marco Stunt, Luchasaurus, and Christian Cage and all that, and looks like now he's going to be best friends with Hook. So yeah, that's what MJF was talking about. He was just talking a lot of junk to Jungle Boy, and Jungle Boy was coming back with the promo as well, talking some junk to MJF. But then MJF starts talking more junk to Jungle Boy, talking about how he's never going to hold the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, and he was talking about how he pulled Energy aside last week or whatever, talking to her, and then he was talking about that Jungle Boy is running short on everything and something in between his legs as well. And Jungle Boy gets mad. He tackles MJF down, starts attacking him and stuff. MJF pokes him in the eyes, and he's trying to take control, but Jungle Boy throws him to the turnbuckles and stuff, throws him to the ropes, and hits a vicious clothesline onto MJF, laying him out. And then he runs to the ropes, trying to hit that big forearm to the back of the head, but MJF quickly ducks and rolls out the ring. So yeah, he saved himself. But yep, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff though. But then after that, we see an interviewer trying to interview Kenny Omega and Don Callis backstage. Kenny Omega is getting his elbow checked out, getting some tape around it or whatever, because he got some match later on tonight against Jeff Cobb for the IWGP United States Championship. That match is later on tonight, and Don Callis was talking about how it was his fault for what happened last week, how he grabbed Adam Page's wrist, and then Adam Page just pulled away and he just tripped and fell. So he said that he's going to go deal with Adam Page, and he's going to go apologize to him, and he asked Kenny Omega why he assumed that Adam Page pushed him down. He goes, because he did it before. So yeah, that's what he said. But yep, that's what happened there, and then we see Don Callis walking out to go apologize to Adam Page. So yeah, that's what's going to happen there. But next we're going to be seeing the Blackpool Combat Club versus the Boys and Dalton Castle up next in a 6-man tag team match. So yeah, that match will be up next, and yeah, I will see you guys later until the next thing that happens on AEW Dynamite. See you guys later until then. So the next thing to happen on AEW Dynamite, now before I talk about that 6-man tag team match, we got to talk about a segment that was happening. Apparently we see Matt Menard and Angelo Parker keep on trying to bring the Acclaim to the Jericho Appreciation Society, trying to recruit them and all that stuff, carry them to hockey games and all that stuff. So yeah, it was just stuff like that. But yeah, that's what happened there. But then we get to the next match. It was Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta, the Blackpool Combat Club, versus Dalton Castle and the Boys in a 6-man tag team match. And then, yeah, we see Dalton Castle and the Boys coming out, but then they get attacked from behind by the Blackpool Combat Club. Jon Moxley's beating down Dalton Castle while Wheeler Yuta's beating down the other boy. And then we see Claudio beating down Brandon Tate inside the ring. He's beating him down and everything, just laying him out with some European uppercuts and everything. And then his finish move, that sit-out powerbomb onto Brandon Tate, pinning him for the 3 count. So yeah, the Blackpool Combat Club defeated Dalton Castle and the Boys tonight in the 6-man tag team match. For that match, I'll give it a half of a star. That's what I'll give it. But yeah, that's what happened there. And then, yeah, they walked through the crowd and everything, and that was it for that. And then we get to a segment backstage where we see Adam Page getting interviewed backstage, and he was talking about the Young Bucks' health from last week on Dynamite and everything, how they'll be okay, they're resting at home and all that stuff. But then we see Don Callis coming up to apologize to Adam Page, and Adam Page didn't want to hear from him, but then all of a sudden Adam Page gets attacked from the Blackpool Combat Club. They're beating him down and everything. Don Callis was trying to shake Jon Moxley's hand up until Moxley hits a forearm onto him, laying him out as well, and then they walk away, and then we see Don Callis bleeding and everything from the forehead. So yeah, that's what happened there. But up next we're going to be seeing Kenny Omega versus Jeff Cobbs up next for the IWGP United States Championship up next on Dynamite. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a one-on-one match. It was the IWGP United States Heavyweight Champion Kenny Omega versus Jeff Cobbs one-on-one for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship. So yeah, that's what this match was all about. It was for the title and everything. Now Jeff Cobbs comes out and Kenny Omega's about to come out and stuff. He's getting ready and everything backstage up until Tony Schiavone comes up to him and gives him the announcement that Don Callis got attacked backstage with Adam Page by the Blackpool Combat Club. And Kenny Omega was like, "Are you for real?" He says, "Yeah." And then Kenny Omega was like, "I gotta do this match still." So yeah, he comes out and everything to his New Japan Pro Wrestling theme song and stuff, which was pretty cool. So yeah, Kenny Omega versus Jeff Cobbs for the title. In this match, it was a pretty good match. Jeff Cobbs was doing pretty good, almost getting the pinfall a few times on Kenny Omega. And Kenny Omega was just fighting back a lot of times. Jeff Cobbs at the very ending actually hit the V trigger onto Omega, lifts him up, try to hit Kenny Omega's finisher move, the One-Winged Angel, onto Kenny Omega, but Kenny Omega quickly got off his shoulders, and then he tries to lift up Jeff Cobbs for the One-Winged Angel, but he couldn't because he's still injured with the ribs and stuff. So yeah, but he takes down Jeff Cobbs and everything, beating him down. He hits the V trigger onto Jeff Cobbs, and then he finally lifts him up and hits him with the One-Winged Angel, pinning him for the 3 count. So yeah, Kenny Omega defeated Jeff Cobbs tonight and has retained the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship. So yeah, that's what happened. Really good match between those two guys. I give that match 4 stars. That's why I'll give it. But then, after the match ended, all of a sudden we see Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta, the Blackpool Combat Club, coming out attacking about to attack Kenny Omega. They're getting on the ring apron and everything, about to attack him, up until Bryan Danielson comes out. So yeah, Bryan Danielson returns. He gets in the ring. He stops everyone that was about to get into the ring. He tells the Blackpool Combat Club to get off the apron. They actually listen to him and get off the apron. He sticks his hand out to help up Kenny Omega. Omega didn't want to do it at first, but he grabs Bryan Danielson's hand and he gets up. But then Wheeler Yuta tried to get on the ring apron, and Kenny Omega quickly runs over there up until Wheeler Yuta quickly got off so he wouldn't get hit. And then all of a sudden, Kenny Omega turns around. He gets hit with the Psycho knee by Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson turns on Kenny Omega. And then he locks on the LaBelle lock onto Kenny Omega. And then we see Claudio, Wheeler, and Moxley coming into the ring, stomping on Kenny Omega while Bryan Danielson got the LaBelle lock locked on and everything. We see Brandon Cutler trying to come out and a bunch of security guards coming out, but they get beat down as well, getting laid out. So yeah, that's what happened there. Bryan Danielson returns, beating down Kenny Omega with the Blackpool Combat Club, and Kenny Omega defeated Jeff Cobbs to retain the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff though. But yeah, after that we see Austin and Colton Guns, the Guns talking backstage, talking about how they did respect the FTR, but they don't anymore, and they said they only respected one person, that was their dad, Billy Gunn, but they seen what they did to them. So yeah, they said that next week they're going to beat FTR to retain the AEW World Tag Team Championships and FTR's AEW career. So yeah, that's what the Guns said, and that match will be happening next week. But up next, we're going to be seeing Orange Cassidy defending the AEW International Championship up against the Butcher up next in a one-on-one match. So yeah, that match will be happening up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on AEW Dynamite. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a one-on-one match. It was the AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy versus the Butcher in a one-on-one match for the AEW International Championship. So yeah, we're about to get this match started up until we see the Blade coming into the ring, just attacking Orange Cassidy, and the Butcher and the Blade just beating him down and stuff. The Blade grabs a crowbar, try to hit Orange Cassidy with it up until the referee stops him, and the referee kicks him out from ringside. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then we get the match underway. It was an okay match between Orange Cassidy and the Butcher. Both of them going at it and everything. But then Orange Cassidy starts taking control of this match at the very ending. He's setting up for the Orange Punch onto the Butcher, but the Butcher is grabbing the referee. And then all of a sudden the Blade comes running back down. He gets the crowbar and hits Orange Cassidy in the back with the crowbar. That's when the Butcher grabs Orange Cassidy and hits a chokeslam backbreaker onto Orange Cassidy. He pins him 1, 2, Orange Cassidy barely kicking out at 2, and then we see Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, best friends, coming down, attacking the Blade from behind, beating him down and stuff. The referee's trying to kick them out from ringside up until the Butcher grabs the referee and throws him down, and then the Butcher gets out the ring, but then he gets hit in the stomach with a crowbar by best friends, and then he got thrown right back into the ring. The referee didn't see him because he got thrown down by the Butcher, and then the Butcher gets back up to his feet. He gets hit with the Orange Punch, and then he gets hit with Beach Break by Orange Cassidy, and Orange Cassidy pinned him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Orange Cassidy defeated the Butcher tonight on Dynamite, and he has retained the AEW International Championship. That's what happened. It was an okay match. For that match, I'll give it 2.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. But yeah, that's what happened there. But still to come later on tonight in the main event, we will see Adam Cole versus Daniel Garcia one-on-one later on tonight on Dynamite. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on AEW Dynamite. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a one-on-one match. It was Ruby Soho with Saraya and Toni Storm, the Outcast, at ringside, and she was taking on Willow Nightingale on Dynamite. So yeah, Willow Nightingale versus Ruby Soho one-on-one, and it was an okay match. We see Ruby try to hit Destination Unknown onto Willow, but Willow fought out of it and everything. And then she hit the pounce onto Ruby Soho, and then we see Saraya getting on the ring apron, which she was distracting the referee, and then we see Willow Nightingale try to hit her finish move onto Ruby, but then Toni Storm grabs Ruby's legs, so she wouldn't hit her finish move. And then Willow goes up to Toni Storm, and then that's when Ruby rolls her up for the pin, putting her feet onto the ropes, Toni Storm holding her feet in place, and the referee counted to 3. So yeah, Ruby Soho defeated Willow Nightingale tonight on Dynamite. That's what happened. It was an okay match, but then after the match ended, the Outcast starts attacking Willow Nightingale after the match, beating her down and everything. But then We see Sky Blue and Riho running down to try to save Willow Nightingale, and they start getting beat down as well up until the AEW Women's Champion, Jamie Hayter, comes running down, cleaning house and everything, almost taking Toni Storm's head off with a vicious clothesline, but Toni Storm quickly got out the ring and everything. And then, we see her turn around, and Riho pretty much signaling that she is going to become the new Women's Champion next week on Dynamite. And Jamie Hayter shakes her hand, she walks out the ring, and she starts chasing after the Outcast up the ramp. So yeah, that's what happened there. For that match, after the match, I'll just give it 2.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. But up next, it'll be the main event. It'll be Adam Cole making his in-ring return, and he'll be taking on Daniel Garcia one-on-one up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on AEW Dynamite. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was the main event. It was a one-on-one match. It was Adam Cole making his in-ring return after months of being out, and he was taking on Daniel Garcia one-on-one in the main event. So yeah, we get to the main event, and it was a pretty good match. It was going back and forth and everything. Daniel Garcia was doing pretty good. He hit that move, the power driver move, onto Adam Cole. He pins him, but Adam Cole barely kicking out at 2. Cole starts coming back at the ending of this match up until he climbs up the second turnbuckle, jumping off with the Canadian Destroyer onto Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia is on his knees. That's why Adam Cole runs to the ropes and comes back with the boom, which is the knee to the back of the head, the Shining Wizard, onto Daniel Garcia, and he pins him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Adam Cole defeated Daniel Garcia tonight on Dynamite. That's what happened. And then he's celebrating and everything. Confetti's coming down from the ceiling. And then we see his girlfriend, Britt Baker, comes down, kissing him and everything, celebrating with Adam Cole with his win tonight on Dynamite. But then we see Daniel Garcia laid out and stuff on the mat in the corner. And then we hear Chris Jericho's music hitting. He comes walking down, grabbing Daniel Garcia, looking over his shoulder, not making eye contact with Adam Cole. He walks up the ramp, does it again, and then he walks away. And yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff though. For the main event between Adam Cole and Daniel Garcia, I'll give it 3.5 stars is what I'll give it. It was a pretty good match between those two guys. But for me, match of the night, it has to be Kenny Omega and Jeff Cobbs for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship. That match was a really good match. That was a match of the night for me. And then we had Bryan Danielson returning tonight and everything. Pretty good stuff. But yeah, for tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite, I'll give it 7.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a pretty good episode tonight. So yeah, that's why I'll give tonight's episode of Dynamite. But yeah, that has been my AEW Dynamite reviews. Subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Videos, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. So I'll be down there in the description box. And I'll see you guys later for this Friday's Friday Night SmackDown reviews, and this Saturday's and Sunday's WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2 reviews as well. And yeah, I'll be doing my WrestleMania 39 predictions probably tomorrow. So yeah, look out for that. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then.